Hello. Hi. Welcome. I'm Whitney Kobrin, love coach and owner of Heart Hunters Love Coaching. Welcome to the program. Today, we are going to be talking about the laws of attraction, dating, and relationships. I talk a lot on this program about the inner work necessary before getting into a relationship, but today we're going to be talking about dating specifically. So this generally comes after the inner work has been done, but what we're going to talk about it could be looked at as rules or tips or tricks, but I call them laws. And the reason that I call them laws is that I'm not a big fan of rules. Many people would say rules are meant to be broken, and a lot of people are not bound by rules, but there are laws of nature, like gravity. We can't deny that gravity exists. We have to work within the bounds of this law. And so what I'm going to explain are 16 different laws that we must understand and be able to work through and work with in order to attract the right kind of people to us, to date effectively and the right way and with the right kind of people, and eventually to have a lasting, loving, fulfilling relationship. So the first one is to overflow with love, abundance, and well-being. And this speaks to the inner work necessary before getting into a relationship. Many people will go into a relationship or a dating experience wanting to be filled with love. So they come with this empty cup. They come with a deficit. And what happens is it sets them up for all kinds of disappointment. One is they could look needy or be putting pressure on the relationship to work. They might be trying really hard to be liked, to be accepted. And when you come full of love, already loving yourself, loving your life, then you're bringing love to the relationship, to the date, and that's attractive. Really amazing, awesome, high value, high quality people want to be with someone else that brings love, that is love, that exudes love. And also abundance. It's great. It's a great help when you're dating to have an abundance mentality. It allows you to not get super hurt by every little setback and allows you to know that there are many fish in the sea and that it's worth waiting to find the right person for you, rather than trying to force a square peg into a round hole or force a relationship. The next one is to date multiple people and keep dating until you find the one. This is really tricky for a lot of people, but every single one of my clients has been able to do this once they start and once they try and once they understand the reasons behind it. So if the goal is to have love, to have a lasting, loving, fulfilling relationship, we can't just show up on the first date and say, hi, nice to meet you. Do you want to be in a lasting, loving, fulfilling relationship with me? We have to take our time to get to know someone. And I've said this before, but I'm sure that there is an ex that you have that you can't stand that at one point you thought was amazing. So just think about how long it took you to really get to know that person, to really see what they're all about. And when we are in the process of dating, trying to meet someone amazing, we want to keep dating multiple people. And you want to be open and honest about this too. So starting from the first or second date, you tell them, I'm looking for this, whether that's marriage and kids or a life partner or someone to go out with. You tell them what they're looking for, but you don't put them into that box right away. You say, I'm looking for a lasting, loving relationship, but until I know that I really know someone and trust them and like them, I'm just going to date and get to know people. The next is to understand this law that women, feminine women, most want to be cherished and adored, and masculine men most want to be respected. So for many people, the golden rule is treat others as you would want to be treated. But we can take this a step further to understand that not everybody wants what you want. And what happens is many times we'll give the other person what we want, but not what they want. And so understanding that a feminine woman wants to be told she's beautiful, wants to be told that she is cherished and adored and loved. And so a woman might give this to her man and have it not be received very well. He might be like, yeah, okay, great. Or he might be like, whoa, that's a lot. And a masculine man most wants to be respected. He wants to be trusted. He wants to know that he could be the rock. He could be the protector, the provider. And so a lot of times a man will show a woman respect. And yes, women do want to be respected. And yes, men do want to be loved. But their biggest priority is that men really want to be respected. There's a great book called Love and Respect by Emerson Eggert. But it's basically boils down to that principle. So even in the very beginning of dating, it's important to understand that and to ask for what you want from your partner so that you're more likely to get it. Next is to trust actions more than words. Do I need to explain this more? Trust actions. If somebody says they feel a certain way about you, but they act in another way, trust their actions more. Don't be a damsel in distress and don't be a rescuer. I talk a lot about masculine and feminine energy, and people who don't really understand this, who haven't had the education around what powerful feminine energy is, can mistake it for being a hot mess or a damsel in distress. And that's not the point at all. We don't want to be a damsel. We don't want someone that needs to come in and rescue us. We want to be able to take care of ourselves to begin with. And we also don't want to be a rescuer. There are many, many people out there who are fixers, and fixers often put other people's needs before their own. They can end up putting up with abuse or mistreatment from their partner because they think, well, this person's just had a rough life. You know, they make a lot of excuses or reasons why this person is that way. And they believe that with the right kind of loving relationship, this person can change. And we really don't want to fall for someone's potential. We don't want to fall for someone that we feel we need to change. So don't be a rescuer. Next is 100-100 is better than 50-50. So a lot of times in relationships, both partners will feel like they need to put in 50%, and 50-50 makes it a whole. So for example, chores are something people fight about a lot, especially when they start to live together or when they're married and over time. And one person might be saying, well, I did the dishes last night. You need to do the dishes tonight. And it's this 50-50 rule, like you need to do 50% of it and I'll do 50% of it. And I'll take care of 50% of the bills and you take care of 50% of the bills and I'll take care of 50% of this. But what that neglects is that we all have innate gifts and strengths and talents. And so if one partner is really good at tracking the bills and spreadsheets and budgeting, then let that person give their 100% towards that. And if someone else is good at the social planning and organizing and parties, and then let that person give their 100% in that. And 100 and 100 is way better and way higher than 50-50. 50-50 often leaves you unfulfilled because you're waiting for the other partner to pick up the slack and do what they're not naturally inclined to do. So when you can give your 100%, the other person often will as well in other ways. Next is be open to meeting someone in person. So this is funny, and I hear people with all different perspectives about meeting people online versus meeting people in real life. And if you think about how you buy a car, people used to just go to the lot and talk to the salesperson and say, show me what you got. And then you'd pick a car and you'd buy it. And that's sort of like how dating used to be. We used to go out to a bar or a club or a place and see who's there and start talking to people and then pick one that we want to date. And that's drastically changed over the last 20 years, especially after the pandemic. Everything went online, and all of a sudden now it's become awkward to approach someone in the grocery store and start up a conversation. So I say that the best way that you can go about dating and meeting potential partners and looking for love is to use both. There are a lot of really great tips that I have about online dating. I'll save those for another time. But when you're open to meeting someone in person, what does that look like? Number one, stop looking down at your phone. Look up, make eye contact with people, take the headphones out, don't listen to music, be receptive, smile, have open body language. And the thing to keep in mind here is to have boundaries. So boundaries are different than walls. If you have walls up, it means that you're not open to meeting anyone. That might be the person with their head down on their phone, headphones in, ignoring everyone around them. They don't want to talk to anyone. And I get it. There's a lot of people out there that you don't want to talk to. But having boundaries is like having a gate. It's like having a gate that can open. And your boundary is you invite people to the gate. You have open body language, you make eye contact, you smile, you're aware. And when someone comes to that gate, that's when you decide, do I want to open the door to them or do I not? So if they have a creepy vibe or you don't like them, then you break eye contact, you change your body language, and you don't let them in. But if the person seems warm and inviting and you want to invite them for a conversation, just by looking at them, just by smiling at them, a lot of times that will invite someone else to say hello. So that's what opening the door is. So be open to meeting people in person and have boundaries, not walls. Next is to be grateful. Be grateful, appreciative, and validate each other. So this is once you are getting to know someone, once you're in a relationship, you never want to take someone for granted, just like you never want to be taken for granted. You want the little things that you do, taking out the trash, vacuuming the carpet. How lovely is it to have someone say, thank you, I appreciate that. And also to validate each other's feelings. So if somebody comes to you and says, I really feel disappointed because this thing happened to me, it can often be our knee-jerk reaction to try to fix it or to say, no, I'm sure it wasn't really that bad. But that's the opposite of validating their feelings. So the next time that someone comes to you that you care about with some trouble or feeling, practice validating them. So if they say, I was really disappointed by this thing that happened at work, you could say, yeah, that sounds like a really disappointing situation. It's a great way to be a great listener as well. The next law is to give each other space to be individuals. When you get into a relationship with someone, you don't want to merge completely with them. You don't want to be 100% the same person or being or entity. You don't want to be just one thing that is the couple. And I'm sure that you've probably seen these couples that start to dress alike and they adopt the same music taste, and all of a sudden they like everything the same, they do everything the same, they do everything together. And believe it or not, this may seem like a really good thing, and to a certain extent it is. You want to spend time with your partner, you want to share activities with each other, but it's really important to continue to have space to be your own individual. So it's okay if your man wants to go out with the guys once in a while. It's okay for a girl to go on a girl's trip for a weekend. Of course, you have to have a strong foundation and trust and communication. But isn't that what relationships are all about anyway? If you lose your sense of self by being in a relationship, a lot of times you'll want to end the relationship to get back to yourself. So to have a lasting, loving relationship, you need to be able to be yourself and be an individual and have your own tastes and activities, even while you're in partnership with someone else. Next is happy wife, happy life. A successful woman is happy and fulfilled. My mom used to tell me that the woman sets the tone of the household. And I truly believe this because for many reasons. One is that women are naturally more emotionally expressive. We feel our feelings more. We have more emotions. We are a bit chaotic and like the ocean and like waves of emotion that come and go and pass. And so when a woman can really be in charge of herself, in control of herself, even if you have moments of feeling bad, you don't want to let that take you all the way down. And if you've been in a situation where you're battling depression or something really challenging with your mood and yourself and how you're feeling, you can see that it will often bring down the whole household. The kids start acting up, everyone's struggling in their jobs. I mean, it really does take a toll. So when the woman in the relationship or the wife is happy and feeling fulfilled and taking care of herself and her own well-being, putting her own mask on before assisting others, feeling appreciated and validated in her relationship, her joy spreads throughout the rest of the household and everything around her that she touches as well. So I really do believe happy wife, happy life. Doesn't mean that the man has to suffer. He should be happy too. Another law is that your beliefs create your reality. If you believe that all men cheat, and when you start dating, you start accusing your man of cheating and you're worried about it, oftentimes this will create a reality in which he cheats, or it even creates a reality where you choose a man who is a cheater. So it's really important to understand what your beliefs are, and noting that many of them are subconscious or unconscious or beneath the surface. So a lot of our beliefs we're not really aware of until we really get quiet and look within and do the internal work to discover what these beliefs are. And oftentimes, once you do discover these, your life starts to make a lot more sense. And you realize that there are ways in which you've attracted and created your reality based on these beliefs that you have. Next is have fun together. Duh. It may seem very obvious that you want to have fun when you're dating and with your partner, but if you really think about it, there are a lot of people and a lot of situations where they're not having fun together. And that could be either in the beginning when somebody's taking everything way too serious and they're anxious and they're worried about being liked and worried about being accepted and worried about where this is going, and they're not able to just relax, surrender, and have fun. It can also be in long-term relationships where you get comfortable together and all of a sudden you just have a pattern and every week looks the same. Sunday nights, you have dinner with the family. Monday nights, you're at home watching TV. It just becomes monotonous and expected. And the human mind just doesn't thrive in those conditions. The human mind thrives when there's excitement, when there's something new, and also with humor. So number one is incorporate humor into your life as much as possible. Watch funny things, have inside jokes with your partner, do things that are new and exciting. Think about if you're in a long-term relationship and things have started to get sort of stale, come up with something that you've never done before. You know, most of us will go to the same old things. If we go out to dinner all the time and it comes time to go out, we want to go out to dinner. But have you ever done a paint night? Have you ever tried rock climbing? Have you ever gone on a boat ride? You know, come up with something, and you can try. I mean, obviously you could do an online search. Groupon is a great source of different activities that you can get, and also at a good budget price. So keep having fun together. Have humor, have excitement, go do something new. Don't let it get stale. Next is be powerful and receptive in your masculine or feminine energy. So I work with women, and what I find is I really teach them to connect with their inner core feminine energy. And the feminine energy receives while the masculine energy gives. And many women, before they know and understand this, they're constantly giving. They're like, I give my man everything. Why isn't this working out? I do everything for him. I bend over backwards. I try to make it work. And what she doesn't realize is that would be more powerful stepping into her feminine and receiving, to stop giving, but to let him know what she wants and needs, and then allow him to give it to her. And again, these are not rules. They're not rules to live by. These are laws of nature. This is just a law that masculine and feminine energy have a relationship with each other that is like a magnet, that's like poles. So the more that one is in their masculine, the more the other can be in their feminine, and the more they are attracted together like two opposite ends of a magnet. All right, we've got a few more. Another law of attraction, dating, and relationships is to make yourself beautiful and keep yourself beautiful in your own eyes and theirs. So often I've heard men complain that women will let themselves go, that they start just wearing sweatpants all the time and no makeup and all of this. And that is not a bad thing in itself. And many couples, they don't care. They're just not worried about that outer appearance. And that's fine. But the important thing is for a woman is that she feels beautiful. So I'm talking to you women right now. You know what I mean. There are times when you are, maybe you have a new baby and it's just not possible to get dressed up and do makeup and even shower. Like, we get it. You can't do it all the time. But when you think about a time that you do feel beautiful, often it is when you've showered and done makeup and, whatever it is for you specifically, just enough to feel beautiful. And maybe you don't need makeup, and maybe you don't need a fancy outfit. Maybe t-shirt and jeans, you feel amazing and you feel beautiful from the inside out. That's what I'm talking about. You want to feel beautiful. And the more that you feel beautiful, the more that your man will look at you and appreciate how beautiful you are. And the next one, so this is, I don't know, a little controversial or funny, but stay with me here. This law is to act as you would if this was a new relationship or even an affair. So if you were having an affair, what would you do? You would make a lot of physical contact. You would be flirting with each other. You would be sneaking away. You would have some sort of inside joke or inside, it's kind of like a shared secret. And I am absolutely not saying go out and have an affair. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying you don't need to look outside your relationship for this novel, fun, exciting, naughty experience. You can actually create it within the existing relationship that you have. So if you're starting to feel like things get old or stale or mundane, then just pretend that you were having an affair and invite your partner out to a hotel getaway or whatever it is that you could do to be flirtatious and fun and exciting. All right. And there was one more here. Oh, I thought I had one more that I skipped, but maybe not. All right. Well, so that is the summary of the laws of attraction, dating, and relationship. I would love to hear from you about your thoughts about this. My website is hearthunterslovecoaching.com. I can be reached at Whitney@hearthunterslovecoaching.com. I offer love coaching for women. I have a signature 14-week program. And I also offer a free love life strategy session for anyone who's interested in learning more and talking about their specific situation and to see if I can help. So you can book that appointment online at my website, hearthunterslovecoaching.com. Thank you so much.